Hey, it's Sean Gray, and from Cobb County Fire Department in Georgia, and we're a Metro Atlanta Fire Department just outside of Atlanta, suburban community, high rises, those type of things. We have 30 stations and about 700 people. For us, really, as a department, as a suburban department, sometimes we run low on staffing, with the minimum staffing of 3, so we might not be able to get the staffing there in order to really have a tactical considerations, everybody come together, coordinated attack. Sometimes it's going to be all about that first engine company getting there and how they're going to get water on the fire as quickly as possible. With a personal experience a few years back, going into a front door because an officer had done a walk around, and when you pull up many times when you're going into the hose line, you don't get the opportunity to see what a 360 looks like. You just trust that first due officer, and that really motivated me, because that first due officer made a critical error where we should not have taken the hose line in the front door. And the guy on the nozzle with me, it happened to be his first fire. He was a recruit directly out of school. Got inside front door, a few feet in, and it starts getting really hot very quickly. And fortunately, I had enough years on that I knew what was going on, that we needed to back out. So we got out of the front door, and sure enough, it did flash over as we were coming out the front door. I looked back on that and I thought, man, if this guy was with another younger guy who wouldn't have recognized that, they both could have been killed in that flashover, because they may have tried to push in. And then we went around to the rear of the structure and saw that the entire back of the structure was on fire from a deck fire. So that really made me start looking into fire behavior, exactly what we're doing as far as tactics goes, and researching things. And turns out that in Cobb County in the last 10 years, we actually had 8,663 exterior fires that were within 50 feet of our structure. So suburban communities, I mean, that's really where it is. And all around the nation, you're going to see that a lot of fires started on the exterior, and we become complacent, because when they get to the interior, sometimes we get in there, they don't have those smoke conditions, but they may be flashing over in the attic. And that's really what wanted me to get involved and learn more about fire behavior. Really probably getting water on the fire as quickly as possible. If it's, one of the things I think for the American Fire Service as far as changes is if there's fire showing from a window and you can put water on that fire from the exterior, that's absolutely 100% okay. We know from the recent studies that you can't push fire. There's still some questions out there about steaming the victim, and I think as research goes on and we actually have the technology to have the monitors and stuff, is it possible to steam a victim? But the question is that victim really alive in a room that's already flashed over? Probably not. So to reduce those temperatures like they did in Governor's Island, you really start to see that, the guys at FDNY, they have hundreds of years of experience all right there, and they were blown away when they saw the results of what was happening and the temperatures dropping just from a little bit of water going on the fire. Really about how much I actually don't really know is what I've learned, and just being with Kill the Flashover and seeing what I learned about the smoke movement. And the Europeans they're light years ahead of us with the science stuff, and seeing what they know and what we actually don't know is amazing. From what I was taught 20 years ago in recruit school about fire behavior, and then now seeing everything that's changed, and we talk about the movement of smoke and how we can overventilate and underventilate a fire, and it's pretty interesting to learn that kind of stuff and to see both sides of it, really from a science side, to know how to apply the tactics. So when we pull up, and as a first due officer, I'm going to pull up and make the decision. Hopefully I'm making the correct decision for my guys, and we're not going to get anybody hurt.
Go! Go!